what's your view of the challenge between getting a law drafted, putting a policy, and implement that policy to practice and make changes on the ground?
Well, thank you for the question, and thank you all for having us, and to the hosts too. So during these panels, when you are in the middle of the panel, most of the public is pretty much tired, so I will do my best to keep it short but efficient. And this is a part of the answer. So hearing all the speeches and lectures, I felt, and I was living through the déjà vu of a law school since I'm a lawyer, and it feels good. But since I've been through my career and I entered the administration through the legislative part of the administration within the Ministry of Interior, so I was on the part of the drafting the laws. But the answer to your question is having people drafting the laws, writing the policies, but implementation takes time. And I'm a head of the ministry that lives day by day in implementation, because everybody expects roads to be built and schools to be built in a day. Even Rome wasn't built in a day. So the implementation part of the laws is within our hands. And to be honest, since I am somebody who used to write the laws, I really feel the need to talk to all the lawyers writing the laws on construction in Montenegro every time we go through the implementation procedure, or all the lawyers who are writing the law on public procurement whenever our tendering stops because of the appeals. But I'm more than aware that institutions are there to do better for the citizens, actually, because we are learning day by day. And we are aware how important it is, the rule of law, since Montenegro is, and this is a tricky part when you come from the Western Balkans, because we all consider ourselves champions of EU integration and the next one to enter the EU. But nevertheless, we are in the phase, when it comes to the Montenegro, we are in the phase of closing the chapters. So, and in between of doing that fast, and be the first next member state. We have a motto 28 by 28, so 28 member state by the year 28, but also to have the balance of actual reforms being implemented. So we have a bunch of laws being adopted a couple of days ago by our parliament, and we have objections to that. So we need the balance between the adopting the laws and actually having those laws applicable, first of all, and then, if applicable, implemented. So it is not easy, definitely, but in my opinion, the recipe for this is actually not having on the drafting side somebody that never implemented the law, because then you do not have a result. When you try to implement the law, you have just a letter on the paper and nothing else.
And does it always match your policy, or it's?
Well, as I said, since we are within our EU integration part, a lot of policies, I do not want to say this, so this is off the record, but a lot of them are, so to say, imposed by the EU, but it is our decision to be next EU member state. But also, we are aware of the fact that the policies go hand by hand with also the policies of the government and the politics itself. So it's always tricky to have policies and laws hand in hand, plus implementation, all the cycle or triangle to be perfect. But we are doing our best in that.
Thank you. I'm turning Your Excellency, Minister of Justice of Georgia, and again, welcome to Dubai. And Georgia is a growing economy, and you're looking to grow your presence in the region. How do you plan your priorities between domestic legislation, attracting investment? How do you juggle between your priorities in the legislation process and how often you succeed?
Thank you for the question. First of all, I would like to thank our distinguished host for convening such an interesting and forward-looking dialogue. It is my great pleasure to be here with you and to share Georgia's success and lessons learned during the independence period. So, as you mentioned, Georgia is a fast-growing economy lately, and in fast-growing economies, the law is not only the normative framework. We believe it's a part of the economic infrastructure. So businesses, investors, citizens, they're looking for three main things. This is speed, predictability, and certainty of execution. Enforcement of the laws. So for this reason, we believe that the law, policy, and technology must be one integrated system, not the separate domains. So in Georgia, we have moved from linear, like closed door law drafting to a continuous digitally enabled process, which enables interested parties to participate in law drafting process. Any new amendment or a draft law is published on the Parliament's website, and any interesting party can comment and send their comments on real time, so which makes process of the lawmaking more clear, more transparent, and it doesn't actually, which we have achieved, what we have achieved is that this doesn't affect the speed of adopting the new laws. So all the draft law, as I mentioned, is published online, but we have as well a legislative herald, and on this legislative herald, interested parties may comment on already adopted laws, so we can take into consideration the comments and to adopt new changes, amendments to the laws in a way to suit the society and the citizens of Georgia. So we also have a digital co-drafting system between the government bodies and regulatory bodies, so which enables a real-time drafting of the laws and coordination, faster alignment, and the consistent regulatory language, which is also very important in this regards. So we believe that the agile lawmaking, when properly governed, strengthens investors' confidence, because it signals state capacity, responsiveness, and control. So we are working every day on bringing innovations to the justice system. Ministry of Justice is a body who operates the digital governance agency, who serves whole government of Georgia and provides innovations to the administrative system in whole. So we think that we are one of the advanced states in this regards, but still we have to learn a lot, and we had discussions a few months ago with my colleague from United Arab Emirates, and I believe that we have a lot to study from your country and to share our experiences between each other. So again, thank you very much for this opportunity to share our ideas and our success with you. Thank you.
How easy for your system to adapt to new changes? Is it tiring, troublesome, difficult, or it's? I mean, I give you example between His Excellency Minister of Justice and Ms. Al-Hamadi, the minister. They managed last year to change maybe 120, 140 laws in this country through their system.
Actually, we do the same, and we have a quite a big challenge to navigate between our EU integration agenda. As you may know, Georgia is a EU candidate state, and in the Ministry of Justice, we have a dedicated department for EU integration, and we are checking all new laws we make in Georgia to be in line with the European regulations, with the European laws, on one hand, and on the other hand, to suit the fast-growing economy in Georgia. So this is a quite big challenge, but so far we are more or less good in that.
Thank you. Your Excellency, Poland's looked at today as the future of Europe, is the economy of Europe growing there, and they believe it's going to take off the economy of Germany in Europe. You also have problems at your borders and the questions of rule of law and justice. How do you feel, and how do you, in your country today, and if there has been changes in the last few years from what's happening around the world and trying to emphasize on the application of the rule of law, justice, and is it justice today a philosophy and politician talks about it, or it's a true subject of implementation in your own country at least?
Thank you. Thank you for the question, and thank you for having us here. Well, justice is a philosophy that remains, and I realize, ideal for many. And, we received very hard lesson from Mario Draghi's report is about the slow agony of competitiveness in Europe. And the only answer that comes clearly from the report is the changing the perspective for the user experience, UX perspective. And when this perspective fails, justice becomes a tool for populists. And Poland and the rule of law has stopped international agendas for years, and with a really hard contribution from Poland from last years. And well, this is a really hard lesson for us, and that the strength of the rule of law doesn't just lie in the quality of the statutes and the number of statutes, but in the society's commitment to defend it. And well, I'm observing those discussions for years about how to achieve it, in those discussions, elites often attribute the public's perceiving lack of commitment to defending institution to a supposed absence of civic education, which is true. Of course, it is true, but this approach fails, we often forget about the really crucial aspect. Citizens will only demonstrate their willingness to defend the institution if those institutions offer benefits to their daily lives. Legal guarantees must offer more than just procedural rights. It must provide a substantive justice rather than the formal justice. And I really believe that only these user experience perspective can give us a mandate, but also make the responsibility stronger for the justice we create now. And populist movements, which is the greatest challenge for the rule of law today, do not emerge in a vacuum. We have to learn from them a lot. And because they grow in the soil of problems that were created by lawyers.
Which is good.
Yeah.
Which is good.
That's what we really faced in Poland last years. And, well, it's not possible to provide a simple solution to the problem of populism. But the rule of law defenders must address those issues that populists are often adept at identifying. And so once again, we really have to learn a lot, how to understand what they right got. So first of all, both on local and international levels, it is essential to be sure that we have two key steps. First, identifying who are left behind. So again, I recall this user experience perspective, and the groups who feel economically threatened, and because those are fertile ground for populists. And the second is the reform audit. We have to create a system which is not only about doing our legislation transparent and public and being a subject of opinion. We have to listen to those users of law, and we have to give them a floor to not only for consultation, but to give them examples of the new statute. This is the only way we can create a system which is friendly for citizens.
Thank you. Very quick questions, maybe a 30 seconds answer if possible. UAE has adopted not only AI, but also using AI in legislation, helps of AI in drafting laws. EU being looked at as being very protective over regulating AI. So an answer, what's your view on the regulating AI, and have you had the experience of using AI within the government in helping in legislation or research? And I'm going to address this question, the same question, to your excellencies.
One of the most recent communications with the UAE is actually helping us on the AI when it comes to Montenegro. So cooperation between our two countries will be based on this project too. And between the government summit last year and this year, we've progressed a lot. When it comes to the EU, is the GDPR directive that's slowing down the whole process. But since we are now using the benefits of being EU candidate but not member state, we will use this year quite a lot on AI.
Thank you. Your Excellency?
Okay, yes. Georgia is one of the signatories to the Framework Convention of the Council of Europe on AI, and on one hand, we are in line with the convention, but on the other hand, we are also in close cooperation with UAE. We have, a few months ago, we have started a project, we call it Smart Contract. It's not really a smart contract in terms of blockchain, but it is a contract which enables citizens of Georgia to remotely sign the real estate contracts. And we have enabled, with the help of AI, and it enables parties to be in different places and to simultaneously sign the contract, pay, and register the title. So, and we're looking forward to further cooperation. We have signed a memorandum of understanding with a private sector company in UAE. They have also a pilot project in Dubai with Dubai Land Registry, which is related to the tokenization of the real estate. So we are also trying to
Very good.
start this project in Georgia. So we're taking the first steps right now.
Thank you, Your Excellency. How is Poland's experience?
Very quickly, this is something we can learn from you, friends. And but when I think about this AI and justice connection, I think of two words: responsibility and transparency. Thank you.
Thank you. Well, thank you very much, Your Excellency, for your time, for being here with us today. I could have spent an hour with you, but I really appreciate your contribution.